Hi friends, it's Em and welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be setting up my February book journal with these gorgeous stickers from Caitlin Plants, as well as some fun fine liners from Wellllllp. I'm listening to His and Hers on audio by Alice Feeney, so grab a beverage, your current read, and let's get to planning. So the first book on my TBR for the month is How to Lose a Goblin in 10 Days, which is an opposites attract cozy fantasy rom-com with a halfling and a goblin. I was sold from the title alone, and I'm so excited to read this one. Like, there are no words. Also on my list is Here Lie All the Boys Who Broke My Heart, which is an absolute mouthful of a title. And it's about a college senior whose exes start showing up dead. I don't know. The pitch alone just sounded so interesting, so I was here for it. I'm also reading a fair amount of nonfiction this month. So one book that my physical therapist recommended to me was 4,000 Weeks, Time Management for Mortals. And the premise here is that if you live to be 80, you have about 4,000 weeks of life. And so presumably it's about time management and how to optimize your life, etc. I don't know. It was a short audiobook and I wanted to read it because my PT said that she liked it. Another book that's been going around Instagram in the nonfiction space is The Book of Alchemy, a creative practice for an inspired life. And this is a guide to the art of journaling. And I'm here for it. I love to journal. I love creativity. So I'm hoping that maybe this will help me sort of understand my creativity better. And the final nonfiction book this month is Wild Creations, which is all about sort of crafting your own plant-inspired interior. And so this has a ton of DIY projects in here. If you follow me, you know that we have a plant wall and we absolutely love it. And maybe this will give us a fun new project for the plant wall. I don't know. Also, this month, I am going to be reading Rebel Witch, which is the sequel to Heartless Hunter. Did I expect that I would be here? Absolutely not. But I really, really liked the first book, and we love a completed duology. As far as I know, it's a duology and not a trilogy. I don't want to read the reviews because I don't want to get spoiled, but that's sort of where we're at on that. Another fantasy book that I'm going to be reading in February is Dragon Cursed by Elise Kova. This just showed up on my doorstep. And I love a dragon book. I loved Fourth Wing. I'm trying to think of other dragon books. Aragon. Loved Aragon. And so this is less of a dragon riding book, more of a, I think, dragon killing book. But it has been getting really good reviews, and I'm excited to try it out. I will say that I haven't been able to get an ebook for this one, sadly. So I am going to have to read it with my eyes and a book in my hands. So sad, so sad. One book that I have been constantly saying that I will read and have not been reading is Fate's Bane by C.L. Clarke. Yes, it made the TBR again, and I want to read this tragic sapphic adventure. I really do. My struggle generally has been that I couldn't find an ebook, and I'm just going to commit. I'm going to commit to this month that I'm going to read this book, and if I don't read this book, I don't know. Someone hold me accountable, okay? Also on my TBR this month is The Second Chance Convenience Store. This is a translated work from Korea, and it's about the owner of a corner store who takes in an unhoused man who does a good deed. And it sounds like it's going to be all about, community, paying it forward, seeing like the best in humanity, which honestly is something that I personally need right now. I also am excited to read A Sea of Unspoken Things. Now, I've heard things about this book, and they haven't necessarily been the best things, but I just want to be done with it. I want to read it and get it off my shelf. And this is about a woman investigating her brother's mysterious death while coming to terms with her own haunting past. Now, that sounds great, so I'm honestly just kind of confused about the reviews that I'm seeing, but, sometimes I feel like reviews can be wrong, and so I'm going to form my own opinion after reading the book, and then I will write a review, and we'll see what I think of it. Not sure. Also, in my sort of string of reading Sonora Reyes's backlist, on my list I have The Broposal. I finally got the audio for this on Libby. So this is I believe it's their adult debut. So it's somewhat timely. This is two friends enter into a marriage of convenience to save one from deportation, but everything changes when they unexpectedly fall in love. I love love. I'm excited. I'm excited about all of these books, honestly. Really, the problem that I was having was that I set my TBR for February on January 21st, and then immediately I wanted to read all of those books, not my TBR for January. So that's kind of the situation I'm in. I don't know. The last book on my TBR that I am dying to read, I got denied for it on NetGalley, just about cried, is Matt Dinniman's new book. And this is not a Dungeon Crawler Carl book. Although he does have Dungeon Crawler Carl 8, A Parade of Horribles, coming out in May. Can't wait. Very excited. This is Operation Bounce House, baby. Whoo! So the blurb of this is that a man must fight for his planet against impossible odds when gamers from Earth attempt to remotely annihilate it. In this epic, fast-paced novel. I mean, it's very confusing. I think that it is going to be super duper sci-fi. Also, I'll note that, you see me making my TBR right now, and I very quickly just abandoned how it looked. I didn't like it. So we're covering it all up with stickers, and I completely forgot to put anything on here that said to be read, so I'm gonna have to add that back in post. But I didn't realize it until I was editing this video. But the game that they're doing in Operation Bounce House, it's like it feels like Ender's Game meets Gundam, which, I mean, I don't really know what Gundam is, sorry Jake, but I know that there's mechs involved, and this is just like, I feel like Matt Dinniman is the Ernest Cline of this generation, except that minus the sexism, and like he really lands all the books, because like Ready Player 2 did not hit for me, but all of these Dungeon Crawler Carls are going all the way down. So I have this on audio. I think it's narrated by Travis Baldry, who is the guy who wrote the Legends and Lattes series. Oh my god. I cannot wait. And of course, there are going to be books that I read in February that are not on this list. I'm currently filming a video about like book recommendation services, and so I'm going to be taking some of those recs and reading. And I mean, sometimes I like to go a little bit rogue with my reading. It's a mood reader problem. Am I right? Yes, I am right. I know that I'm right. One thing that is not on this TBR but is definitely going to make it is Metal Slinger, which is a romantasy that's getting a trad release. And it was recommended to me by my friend Ashley, and I'm going to read it with a different Ashley. That's not confusing at all. But let me know in the comments what you're excited to read in February, and if you're excited about any of these books. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed to my channel. And check out Caitlin's shop for these really cute sewing stickers. She just dropped a knitting line. She just dropped some pasta ones. I'm using literally all of these this week, so they're really freaking cute. I'll have a link to her shop in the description. But I hope that you enjoyed. I hope you have a great reading month, and as always, happy planning.